Everywhere we go, I put this miserable song on repeat. Cause you seem to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't. You just don't. You don't care, cause you don't take me seriously. What's there to repair if you don't wanna talk to me? You should know your time is up, I'm out, I'm done. So I'm putting you on a lifetime sentence, and you'll no longer feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. Yeah, yeah. So you thought I would let this slip. No, that's right, your words don't mean a thing to me. Sleepless night, your love has left us incomplete. Thinking that your promises will fit so loud. No, that's right. So I'm putting you on a lifetime sentence, and you'll no longer feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. Cause I don't. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. Oh no. So you thought I would let this slip. So I'm putting you on a lifetime sentence, and now you never feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. Never feel. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. Thought you knew me so much better.
And here we back together again for all you guys and girls. Why did I say that like that? Bless, thank you for joining us. Welcome to Friday's edition of our relationship talk, where we don't not just talk about marriage, but we talk about dating, singleness, and the importance of family. What is true family? Well, family is when a man leaves his father and mother, cleaves to his wife, because when he finds a wife, he finds a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. Leaves his father and mother, cleaves to his wife, them two become one flesh, for they're no longer two, but one. And the scripture goes, if uh if God has joined them together, let no one put asunder or let no one separate. And that includes your mama, your daddy, your baby mama, your baby daddy, your girlfriend, your friend, your children, stepchildren, whoever. Don't let no one separate from what God has joined together, if God had even joined it together, because God does not co-sign mediocrity, confusion, or anything like that. Number one. Number two, God does not pick your mate. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. God does not pick your mate, because if that was the case, he owed Adam in the Bible an apology. How? Well, the Lord brought Eve to Adam, took him from the side of his rib. However, to he presented Eve to Adam, and then Adam chose her. He says, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, you will become woman. And so from there, they became husband and wife from there. However, he chose her, because when uh, Eve sinned, got tricked by the enemy, and when Adam disobeyed God by listening to the hearken to the voice of his woman, sorry, women, that's why I tell men, you can hear your wife, but ultimately you make the final decision. And it's not a sexist thing, it's not a chauvinist thing, it's a God thing if you understand the Lord. That being said, you may be offended. Some people that are watching haven't heard me before and listening. If you do, you may want to change the channel, and or don't be offended. Get out of your feelings and listen with your mind, and to be able to understand what the information is trying to say to you. I'm on a few cameras right now, so if I'm swiveling my head, looking down and stuff like that, do that. How we doing? Hit the link live. You got yes, uh yes, I do. James Bond in the house, brother Alvin, Indiana's finest, one of my brothers. Uh I have my I don't I forgot I can't I don't have my cummerbund. My cummerbund that goes around the waist, right here, the black cummerbund that goes around the waist here, like this. I told wife I was gonna wear my shirt, talk about marriage. This is one of my favorite shirts. Marriage is not about not about convenience, but a covenant. This is my shirt that I had made a long time ago when I started the group, Couples in Christ, Marriage for Life. Very good group too as well. And so hopefully you guys are watching on there, because live, but I like to do on YouTube, because sometimes I may get off of here, or sometimes on Instagram too as well. Shout out to Instagram too as well. We're going to have a packed evening. I know I started a little bit late, a little bit half hour, but I had to get some rest. I've been up for like 21 straight hours. I'm trying to get some rest. Shout out to my boy Javon, Texas, San Bernardino bred, Texas finest. Amen. And so what did I do? I had a few topics, but I was narrowed them down. I had 5 topics, but I narrowed them down to 2, and I'm kind of combined into right now. So 4. And so again, what I was saying, I know I'm saying a lot. My brain is going like 100 miles an hour, but Like I said, we choose the people we're with. Men, you choose your woman. She's a reflection of your decision making, either good or bad or indifferent. Women, you don't have to accept the invitation of us man if you don't see, or hopefully your father and a brother or a preacher see that he is good for you down the road, because some things you're not going to see that a man can see from another man. And so you need a man to help you make a decision, because hate the controversial take, women make poor decisions picking men. That's why we have a lot of separations, breakup, baby mama, baby daddy, divorces, 80% in the country. Just want to give it to you. Not trying to offend you, just trying to bring facts to a feeling fight. Okay. That being said, okay. That being said, we need to choose better. We need to see how a person move before we get involved with them, especially get in bed with them as well, because when you do that, you create soul ties. Soul ties is a spiritual, intimate feeling, intimate situation that comes upon a person and cloud their judgment when they are in a relationship, especially when they are intimate with one another. That's why the Lord said sex after marriage, because it clouds your judgment. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's going on now? Oh my God, now, Jesus, just hit the link. Now, Jesus Christ. All right. You see here my phone going off and all that stuff. So we have a topic tonight, and I don't own the rights to the music. I love playing some elevated music while we waiting, while people were coming on and so forth. I don't know why we doing that. Let me bring up my topic tonight. So I have a two-part topic, and the first part is called. Um, "Kill the Independent Spirit." Kill the independent spirit. The second part of it, as you see popped up on the screen, or for the other ones that don't in the other camera, it's called "Kill the Independent Spirit." And the second part is stop letting people in your relationship. And there's a little bit more to that. And so that being said, kill the independent spirit, and then stop letting people in your relationship. And let me elaborate a little bit on that. Thank you for joining. God bless. What's going on, brother Arthur? Shout out to you. Now, why did I say kill the independent spirit? For the last month, I've been doing a survey. I like doing a lot of surveys myself. I either put it on social media. I talk to people a lot. Shout out to my wife. I wanted to say that she's probably watching too as well. Without her, I wouldn't be able to do none of this a lot, especially with our kids and the things, our busy schedule and so forth. To her, Lady Jennifer, she is the unsung hero. She don't like to be on camera. I always want her on camera with me at times. She'd come on for Sunday for church and help me with that, with the ministry. Check us out this Sunday, 10 a.m., Way of Life Christian Fellowship, YouTube. Go to our YouTube page and like and subscribe. And she helped, like they say, besides or behind, but I like to say besides, every great man is a great woman. And she helped me build the vision that God has given me, not only just for the church side, but the couples thing I do, the topics, because I'm Pat real. Somebody told me, Mark, you real passionate about couples and family. I am. I grew up with two parents, but it was a dysfunctional household. Not trying to talk about my parents, God rest their soul, but I believe they could have did better. I always tell people, you need to excel greater than what you think you can do, because you can. And you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. But when you are below the potential that you can do, then I call that laziness. I call that underachieving, not trying. And a lot of people don't try hard. We take the path of least resistance. That being said, we need to do better, and we can do better in what we do. And so That being said, could my family, my parents did better? Yes. Could they have better people to be in their life to inspire them? Yes. That's why I tell you guys, it's good to get certain friends, certain couples, or certain guys, certain friend girls for girls that will inspire you. Without certain guys in my life, or guys that mentors that was in my life, I wouldn't probably be right here where I am today. A lot of guys I can name, and so few of them you know about, I name on a regular basis. However, we need one another to inspire one another, strengthen one another, because scripture says iron sharpens iron, as a man sharpen the contents of one friend. We bounce off of one each other and see, not to prove each other right, but at the same time to see another point of view, to be able to take some of that and use that in your way of life and thinking, as well as how you think already. That's how we get better. That's how we grow. That's how competition, sports. That's why I love sports, competition, to see who's the best, to see who what we can use next time. You know, you may be better, stronger, faster, but I may outthink you, and I may use that next time in my repertoire. So that's a lot of things. So let me get back to what I was saying. Um, Shout out, good evening. So again, uh, number two, number one, kill the independent spirit. Why we're killing the independent spirit. I interview a lot of ladies, and this topic actually for ladies, and sometimes this can go for us guys too as well. But a lot of ladies, and I wanted to play a video, but I couldn't get it on here. I was trying to go to YouTube and download it, Alvin, but I couldn't get it on here. And it was the show called, some people know it as The Real, I call it The Fake. It's not on no more. My wife used to watch that garbage. However, it was something on there that they play where the woman says, you know, a guy had a video on there and said, we're tired of women saying independent. If you're independent, why do you need us? We're here to provide, to protect. We're here to lead you. We're here to do this for you. And the woman says, I don't need you. I want you. Well, if you just want me, I can want you today and I can want you tomorrow. But when you need something, like I need oxygen to live. And if I don't have oxygen, I will die. And so when you need something, you appreciate it more than you want it. Because I want this donut, but then I can put it up later and then eat it later, or whatever, stuff like that. But when you need something, you have it as a priority. And when we get in a relationship with one another, we should need one another, not just want one another. Hopefully you get what I'm saying. And so that being said, that's why, unfortunately, and this is not a bad session of women. This is not a bad session of anything like that. It is to bring clarity to situations, bring dialogue. It's not me to do a monologue just to hear me. It's for you guys to comment and say, oh, I agree or I disagree, or why do you think that, or I thought this way, or so forth. Because how we become better, how we strengthen ourselves and point of view is we have a dialogue. That's why a lot of people don't want us to unify and join together. That's why they have separation in this country. Men, women, black, white, young, old, keep us divided and we're not unified. But it takes a conversation like this and a handshake to be able to overcome things, to be able to talk about things that will make people upset, but understand people's point of view. I can not agree with you all the time, but I can hear you out and understand where you're coming from, and may think on it later, and may have a point. I may not take it all away, but that's the goal for what us to do. And so that being said, we are here to the first part: stop kill the independence. The video was saying that the woman, because I can't play it right now, saying that I don't need a man, I want a man. And I tell women, you do need a man. Even if you don't need a man, you need a man, because without a man, you wouldn't have kids, you wouldn't be pregnant. Without men, you wouldn't have law enforcement, you wouldn't have army, you wouldn't have people fixing your car at Jiffy Lube, Walmart, you wouldn't have fire department, you wouldn't have the house you live in, the car you drive, the cell phone you got. You wouldn't have that. So even if you don't have a man as a boyfriend or a husband, you do have a man and things like that. Men, we have built the world that people live in and civilized it so much that people don't understand that we need one another. We love women. The only thing we cannot do without a woman is reproduce. Everything else in the country, we can keep things going and things like that. But that's one of the main vital part. That's one thing, but that's a main vital thing that we need for repopulation and so forth and so forth. And then things to soothe us and you know, companion intimacy and things like that. But other than that, men can kind of run through this life without having. And it's not saying that we don't want you and things like that. You're one of the best things that happen to us. However, a lot of women lose a good man by saying I'm independent. The question is, what are you independent from? What are you independent from when you say you independent? Well, some say that, oh, I can do things on my own and things like that. And a person with common sense say, yes, a woman can do things on her own. She can work, or she can put on her pants. She can do things like that. Of course, my wife, she can do things. She's a college educated person 2 times over. She has a job. When I met her, she was in college. She does a lot of things like that. However, some women understand the called the assignment. They have what I call the damsel in distress. What is that? Sir, can you lift this box over there? She probably can lift the box on the shelf, but she probably don't want to get dirty. She don't want to get sweaty, and she want a strong man to be able to lift the box on the table and things like that. That's how you do it. And a man, we're built to want to be needed. We're made to be needed. We are givers. Men are givers, lady. And men, you need to understand, you're going to be given for the rest of your life. You're going to be giving your time, your attention. You're going to be given a ring. You're going to be given money, a house. You're going to give it. Ladies, when we give you a seed, you make a baby. When we give you food, you should make a dinner. When we give you a house, you should turn it into a home. If you don't multiply the things that a man gives you, then you have lost. That's on you. You can't blame no one but yourself. However, when you have this independent spirit, then you don't even get the price of admission to be in the game because, well, let me go on my notes. I didn't even go on my notes right now. Here's the thing. We're going to start with killing the independent spirit first. And if you guys have questions, comments, statements, please put it in the comments. I wanted to have Zoom on here. So you guys, if you want to come on here face to face, you can talk to me face to face. However, 4 things I wrote down about killing the independent spirit. One, what did independent spirit come from? Where did you get that from? We're going to go over that. Number 2, do you know, ladies, or do you know when a person say, I am independent, what that does to a man? What it does to his psyche? Number 3, are you successful in the end in a relationship or not, saying that you're independent? And number 4, why do most women say they're independent? That should have been second. But what is independent? Independent is being doing things on your own without assistance, without help, by giving a Webster Dictionary definition. However, you are individual, you can do independent things, but far as a relationship, we need to understand that we should be codependent on each other. Yes, I can make my own food, I can wash my clothes, did it before I got married and do it now. I don't really wash. I don't like washing because I don't like folding. My wife knows that. And so that being said, I had to fold when I didn't have my wife. But at the same time, I appreciate her washing, not only folding my clothes and things like that. Certain things my wife don't do. She don't take out trash. She don't pump gas. She don't do nothing with the yard, even though she like garden. But at the same time, she can do it herself. But being with me, you don't touch those things. Every man has something different that he don't want his woman to do, that he loves to do and don't like his woman to see. Ladies, when men do certain things, that's like a privilege to you. That's like, I'm giving you the honor. That's like me taking off this coat and putting it over a puddle of water and letting you walk over it so you won't get wet. Okay, that's the thing. And so we need to understand that. A guy told me last night when I was working, he's like, bruh, that's 1950 stuff. We in 2021 and things like that. And people, the one income household things. I'm like, look, brother, um, that's why that's why more of the country is not married. That's why 80% get divorced. That's why we don't have grandma and grandpa relationships that was 40, 50, 60 years married and together. That's why kids don't know what a relationship look like. That's why they don't commit to one another. That's why they have babies, they don't stay with one another. If you show that, then we can have that, and we can have a longevity household, family, teach children with both parents in the household. People don't have to go to therapy or counseling because they're not warped or dysfunctional. And that is when you are relying on each other, codependent on one another. This is why we need to be together. That's why what God said, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, and what he had joined together, let no one separate. Devilish ways separate us. The spirit of the devil separate us. This government want you separated too because they make money when you're single. Preferably you ladies. When you're single, they make money off you. They make money off you at the 3 for $5 Walmart sale, going to Cancun, having an apartment instead of a household, going on trips, spending unnecessary money. And so certain things like that. When you have a husband, no, you spend too much today. Can't go on that trip right now. We have structure. We are consistent. Life can be boring to some people like that, but it's steady. It's consistent. It's not too high. It's not too low. And when you have the independent spirit, you just everywhere. You have no accountability to no one. You march to your own beat. But when you with someone, you're accountable to someone. You're reliable to someone. You're responsible to someone. And this is how we grow as a people. This is how where you at? Are you okay? Are you hurt? You have to check in with someone. No one is your mother or father. However, you are accountable to someone. We are accountable to God as men too as well. So anyone is accountable to one. If you're accountable to your job and your boss, you should be accountable to your man or your woman. Or your man, or let your woman know, hey, honey, I'm gonna be out a little bit late. Just if something happened, she know where you at or something like that. Not that, ladies, your husband is not accountable to you, but he's responsible for you. But he should let you know by honor that, hey, honey, I'm here, or I'm going here, or something like that. Just in case something happened to him, you will know, and you're not unaware, and then you're not caught off guard by surprise. If you have any questions, comments, or statements, put it back in. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm getting my James Bond on, my 007 on. Hopefully, do you guys like my bow tie? I don't have my karma bond on. I have my buttons. I think this is one of the shirts I wore when I got married. Maybe this is not. This was actually too big for me once. By the time I actually can fit it now, but shows I gained weight. But at the same time, these are the things. So my question in you, ladies, if you're listening right now, if you still don't want to not have been offended and got off by now, why do women say they're independent? Or brothers, what do you think that women say they're independent for? Number two, ladies, do you know, if you type in you guys type in the comment, the question I asked, why do women say they so independent? But while you're typing in your response, I'm gonna say this: do you know when you say that, what do it do to us men? Majority, not every man, but most men. It shows that, one, like the girl said on the video from the fake, we don't need you. And if you don't need us, one of the things it does, it kills certain men's motivation. If I'm buying you flowers and you say I'm independent, or if I give you gas in your car, or if I buy you lunch to go, and then you say I don't need it, I can do it myself, what it does, it kills the motivation in us that says, Hey, brother, you don't give your wife some flowers today or nothing like that? No, she don't want them. She don't need them. She'll get them herself. It kills motivation for us doing things. It also, unfortunately, kills motivation us doing something when we're like broken up with you, or we're not married and we got a kid together. If you're doing everything and you're bossing things around, then it kills us to do things, because remember, we as men, we're meant to be in charge. And if you act like you are in charge, then we're going to step aside, because we really can't treat you like a man. We really can't buck up to you, or there's a threat, a level of violence between two men. That's why we have a level of respect, or we go our separate ways. And this is how men think in general. And so I'm using generalities because the world work on generalities. Amen, men. And at the same time, we need to you need to understand that when you say you can do all this stuff, why are we here? Just for sex only? No, we shouldn't be here for sex only, especially if we have a true long-term relationship and or a marriage. Because you may say, well, why he go with the skeezer, or she's a hood rat, or whatever a case may be. But she needs him. She wants him. And if you're not doing that, if you can do everything yourself, then you don't need me. If you don't need me, then I'm not coming around like this. This what hurts a lot of women, to miss the mark of having a true good man. And a true good man doesn't make probably a lot of money. He may not be the tallest, but at the same time, he's consistent. Straight men are men that are solid 100. They are consistent in what they do. They can work a janitor job, or they can be a CEO. We are consistent. We may have some ups, we may have some lows, but most times we are consistent in what we do. And so I want you to understand that I want you to understand that we are consistent in what we do. And so saying I'm independent hurts your chances to have a successful relationship. A lot, like the woman says, you can provide love, kindness, and everything. She said you don't have to provide me money or protection and things like that. I thought that was silly. That's why that was the Asian girl that was married to Jeezy. She's divorced now and trying to get money from him now. I hate talking about people that broke up or divorced, but when we do stupid things, yes, I say stupid things, then we mess up our blessing, or how they say the bag, or so forth. And so love, kindness, that should be standard in the relationship, cross the board with one another. Ladies, how you show love to us is by following our lead, respecting our authority, submitting to our leadership. How we show love to you is different how you show love to us. How we show love to you is not, some guys, I'm not condoning infidelity. However, guys may have 50 women, but his heart is to you. But the thing is, his commitment to you is being a priest, leading you, provider, providing things for you, having home, shelter, food, and protection over you, not just protecting you from people, protecting you from yourself, praying over you or certain things if you're a spiritual man and things like that. Because I'm talking to non-spiritual man as well as spiritual man. And so, ladies, men, we show our loyalty and we show our love to you differently than you show us. But if you don't show us the respect, if you don't show us the honor, if you don't show us the praise, if you don't show us that you really need us and you want to have us and you can't be without us, we like the reverence. Same things like a God complex. We're not God, but at the same thing, use that analogy because we're made in God likeness and image. You're made in our likeness and image. It goes down like this. And so I wanted to say this because a lot of people miss the boat on a lot of relationships. You guys have questions, comments, and statements out there. Number two is why I still haven't got a response. Why do you guys say I'm independent? Ladies, why do you say I'm independent? Why do you say I am independent? A lot of people need to say, uh, a lot of people say, geez, oh, sure. Independent. So, and let me go on to the next. One of the biggest things is uh, stop letting people in your relationship. But I had that this week. Killing the independent spirit. We have this independent spirit. Men, we accomplish things. Lady, we accomplish things. Men, much as we do a lot, and I'm talking to the men, much as we do a lot, we build the infrastructure, we build worlds, we work hard. You may drive, you may build skyscrapers, you may drive buses, you may do law enforcement, you may be a CEO. We need our ladies. We need our women. I told my wife, I need you today. Being in the situation that I am as a married man and as a father, and as Al Bundy say, my father, greatest person he used to watch, I'm married with children. And that being said, I need my woman. I need not only just to cook, she cleans, I clean too. I don't like to cook, but I believe I'm the better cook. I only cook on certain occasions. Um, but however, um, around the house, certain things that need to be done, she let me do. I do things throughout our house and things like that. And then my kids, one of my greatest things is I didn't understand it before, but during the pandemic, when I stopped working and I retired from one of my jobs, is that I had more time with my kids, and it felt kind of awkward because I felt women should be doing that. But it got me to understand how children think, and how you watch shows, and how you take them to school, and how you have time with them or meet teachers and things like that. Most guys are working. I had the privilege to do that, and that's one of my greatest things because I understand my children, and I get to pour in my children too as well. My wife, she teaches them as young babies. They're at was they toddlers, adolescents, 7 and 5. But most guys, we're not patient with younger kids. When you're teenagers, you're older, we can deal with you more like that. And so she's very needed in that regard. Like right now, she's with the kids as I'm doing a live right now. So she's very needed with that. She's needed to deal with certain people that get on my nerves that I either don't want to talk to. And sometimes some of them are family members or things like this. And here's what Maurice trying to say to you, or here's this and that. Because if we're not talking about God or relationship or building and making money, I really don't have time with you if you're not in my circle, and things like that. So she's one of a filibusters. She's like a middleman between me and certain people at times. And so I need that too. Now, granted, if you single, you move a certain way. But when you have people in your life and things like that, you get adjusted to a person. When you've been with a person 10, 15, 20 years, if you guys are single and not married, to me, if you're single, if you're not married, I don't care if you've been together 5, 10 years, you're single. You got to get married to me if you want to be recognized as a couple to me. You're dating, yes, you're not legit, because if God comes, he's not going to come and say, I see you've been together 10 years and with 2 kids, but not married. That's not the thing. And so we need to understand that too. A lot of people don't want to accept that, but what God accept, that's what I accept. And what he reject, I reject, and things like that. I'm not God, but I'm one of his stewards. And this is where we need to take on the mantle like that. Right. And so that being said, we need to look at that. And so segue into relationship. I deal with a lot of people that come to me for their relationship after they went to someone that was not qualified to speak to them on behalf of their relationship. And that may include their mama, their daddy, their homegirl, their homeboy, and they're in their ear. I wanted to put a lot in the description box, but I couldn't do a lot in the description box. A lot of us don't understand. A lot of us don't understand that uh, a lot of don't understand that the descript Jesus, I'm sorry about that. A lot of us don't understand that you can't tell everybody about your relationship. You can't tell everybody about your marriage. You can't tell everybody about the one you with. In a sense, I believe uh, ladies more than gentlemen. Okay, men, we are stewards. We know how to make sound decisions. We may go to a big brother or a father figure or something like that, but ladies, where you mess up at is you should be going to your father if you have one and have a good relationship with him, and you can see that he makes good sound judgment, not that he's just your father, because a lot of fathers out there make give poor advice, foolish advice. A lot of fathers do. However, and especially here's the thing, a lot of women that's in church, especially black women, you should be going to your pastor if you don't have a father. You cannot call yourself a believer, a Christian, or love God in the faith, and you don't go to your father or a spiritual father to help you in the vetting of a man. You cannot do it yourself. A lot of people don't, you don't have to tell the world, but you can talk to your spiritual counselor about, I want this, or who am I looking for, because you're picking majority on the vibe or how they look or what some things they have or have not. But you're missing the essence of what a man see from another man to see what can he take care of his daughter. And a lot of you, like, again, choose poorly. But the good thing about it is you have the people to go to. If you don't have a father, go to the church and things. That's why the church is valuable to people, men and women, especially women, but you don't utilize it in the proper way. A lot of you let your friends in your ear. Some of it is your mama too, and your mama is not married to your daddy. She don't have a man, or if she do, she's been with Leroy for 5 years and they not married and things like that. Well, nobody's perfect. Yeah, nobody is not perfect. However, she's not qualified, because how can she tell you what a man's supposed to do to you, and he is not doing it for her? And most importantly, you ain't got the highest honor that a woman can ever get. Ladies, the highest honor that a man can ever give you outside of God and salvation is marriage. Let me say that again. The highest honor that a man can give you outside of God and salvation is marriage. And after that, he can bless you with children. Why? Because marriage is honorable before the Lord, and the bed is undefiled as well. God hate divorce. He honors marriage. Not to mention, he don't recognize boyfriend and girlfriend long-term relationships too as well. That being said, you can't be listening to people that is not married. Some have it if they're in that profession. That's what they do. They have a track record of dealing with people and couples and things like that. Yes, you can do that. You can even learn something from a fool too as well. There's a lot of counselors that are single that do MFT, marriage family therapy. My wife, she does that too as well right now. For us, that's why I love her to talk to different ladies and couples when we do a lot of sessions too as well. But granted, we want to listen to our mom and things like that, our dad, or sometimes our home girls. And I tell ladies, single women keep women single. Let me say that again. Single women keep women single. Well, my friend, she's good. She has my back. She knows me since I grew up and things like that. Well, some people don't like other people in relationships because they not in one. Sometimes some people don't like people in relationships because you or that person may have a great relationship with the person they with. They may be ascending. They may the guy may treat them so well, or they may have less time for that friend. Okay, we're not here to make all type of friends and have the white picket fence and then have the white man on a horse or the woman and things like that. No, we're here to our family. We're here to work. We have to do purpose, live for God, share God in your life, and to have be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and so forth. A lot of you want a lot of things, and it's hurting you, and it hurts you with men too as well. And if you don't, that's going back to that independent spirit. If you don't get what you want from a man, then you feel that a man is useless. No, he is useful. He's just not giving you the things that you want, but he may be giving the things that you need, and that's where we go wrong. Any questions, comments, or statements at this time? Uh, I still was looking for the question of everybody. What does, or what do you guys, since the woman don't want to answer, you could type it in. What, why do women say I'm independent? I want to know that question. Number two, people are not qualified. What did I go? People are not qualified to be in a relationship, qualified to give you advice. A lot of people, that's like an unemployed person trying to give you advice to keep a job. How can you give me advice to keep a job? You can't keep a job or get a job. But a lot of us need to understand that, excuse me, we need to, um, you know, she's my sister. Well, your sister had 3 different guys, 2 different baby daddies. She's been in and out of relationships. She's been married twice. How can she give you a relationship in the things that we're facing right now that we're trying to work it out? Yes, you want to share and confide in someone, but the one you confiding in, remember this. You may tell them that he's doing this or she's doing that. But then when you guys kiss and make up, then they're still remember what you told them. They still upset at the person that hurt you because they care about you. And that's why we can't tell too many family and friends what's going on in our relationships, because you make an enemy out of your partner and the person you told about your partner what you guys are going through. And parents is always going to generally side with their children, especially friends, homegirls and homeboys, going to side with their friend. People is going to side with the people they know, because some people just like to give sympathy or so forth. You may be in the wrong, but they don't know the other side of the story. This why you need to go to a neutral person. I always say, yes, your mom and dad may have, if your mom and dad have a great relationship, they're married or something like that, they've shown a stable, healthy relationship. Both your man and woman or your woman and man respect them equally. You can go to them and ask them certain questions. I always say go to a man of God, go to a professional clinician, therapist, so forth. A lot of us don't like to go professional therapy, especially in the Black and brown community, because that's considered like taboo. That's considered taboo because they don't want to open up to the person. They don't want to open up to the person and say, I did this and this and that, because some of us got backstories, independent, uncommitment. Yes, thank you. I'll get to that in a minute. Uncommitment. And so a lot of people need to open up. One, I believe people should do counseling and therapy at least once, if not twice a year, at least once a year, every other year you're kind of pushing it and things like that. I believe everyone should do premarital counseling before getting married, and I believe you should hang around couples that you can talk about certain topics. Me and my wife used to be a part of this ministry. We was presidents of the couples ministry, and so we were one of the presidents of the couples ministry. And so in that, we used to talk about certain topics. It'd be like 20 couples. Shout out to my boy Javon. He used to be with me, and then we used to like be like 20, 30 couples strong, from just newly married, engaged, to 50 years married. And so we used to listen to the older couples talk about certain things, and then we'll look at each other that we experiencing that, and we can take something from that to use that in our relationship and so forth. And then we would give people, really didn't listen to too many couples that was like under 10 years, but we still would share some things, and then they would give us some pointers, or an older couple will pull us to the side and help us out, or the older man will pull me to the side. God bless Dad Underwood. He was one of the guys that really blessed me when he was living, to help me as a young man when I was just getting married and things like that. God, hopefully he's seeing right now the things I'm doing right now with couples and stuff like that. Mother Underwood with my wife, and even my brother Corey and Sister Dixon and things like that. And that they were couples that was with us. They were younger than us, but they were married before us, like a few years ahead of us. And then the Underwoods was like 30, 40 years ahead of us in that, and they used to help us. And that's one of the things that blessed us, me and my wife, that we would fall back on, or we would talk about the times we would just hang out or go to Denny's, and it would be three of us, like three peas in a pie, or two couples, or the two young couples, or me and my wife and the older couple. These are the things that we glean from. They were qualified to give us advice, not because we knew them or we was friendly with them, but the other older couple was, not only because they was married 50 years, because it takes a lot to be married outlast 10, 20, 30, 40 years. They was married 40 years at the time, but that was a blessing. That was a blessing to glean from them. Everything they told us, we didn't use everything. Some things we would store it up. Some things would help me out. One of the things I learned, I get what I got from Brother Corey is, every time I leave the house, I kiss my wife. You never know what a day's going to bring. You never know if you ever going to come back home. One of the things I started doing when I got married is praying with my wife in this very room before I leave out the house, and things like that. And that helped me. And then my brother Marcus, he does that with his wife. He said, man, you tell me you pray with your wife every morning. We pray for about a minute or so, it not that long, but these are one of the things that I picked up and developed and so forth. And I heard other couples tell me. And so you want to be qualified if you speak to someone about a relationship, marriage. 2, you want to not accept everybody that gives you advice or situations, because this will help. Now, getting back to my brother, our brother Alvin, independent, uncommitted. You said equal, uncommitted in what, in a relationship? Like, I want to do things on my own. A lot of people want to be independent because they don't want to be tied down. I tell ladies, once you are in a relationship, especially marriage, you are, I don't like to use the word tied down, but you are accountable to someone. You can't move like if you're a single woman. We have a lot of single women out. We have a lot of women in relationships, especially unfortunately marriages, and they are living single in a relationship. How can you live single in a relationship? How can you live single in a marriage? They go on vacation sometime on their own, or they just fly across the country. They tell their man they do something without even telling a man or even asking a man. I think that's an insult. My wife, she's a grown woman. She can do what she want. However, she say, hey, some friends want to come over, baby. Is that cool? Yeah, or not right now, or things like that. I'm her leader. She got to tell me. See what I'm saying? Things don't go uphill, they go downhill. A leadership authority. I may let my woman know, hey, I know, because a man should know his house. He should know his surroundings. Just a lot like a lion. A lion have pride. The women pride around him. He know who's coming in the pack. He know who's coming in yonder. No, you can't come in this territory. This is my territory. So a man don't really have to ask this woman. He'll let a woman know, hey, some of the boys are coming over. We're gonna be in the garage, or we're gonna be up in the basement, or we're gonna be up in things like that. If you need me, come and get me, so forth and things like that. And so a lot of people say that's too old school and old fashioned, but that's how relationships last long: love and respect and honor. Men are going to be men. We're born leaders. But ladies, feminism and want to be independent and on your own have broken up more families than the government. Okay, and we need to keep families together. We need to keep families together because of children need to see household with two parents. Yes, uh, some of you may go run to abuse. You don't want to be in an abusive relationship. No, you don't want to be in an abusive relationship. Get as far away from that relationship. But if you been with a person 10 years and they start abusing you in year 3 and you've been with them 7 additional years, that's your problem. Okay, that's what messes things up. You still with a person, you still go back with a person, things like that. You need some counseling, you need some help, or you just like chaos. Some people just like chaos. Some people bring up excuses just to justify their stupid, foolish behavior. And so we need to stop stupid, foolish behavior. From there. And so I say, watch who you get information from, because the people that try give you information may not be qualified to give it. Questions. Number 2. What I was going to say back to that, in the spirit of uncommitted. A lot of people don't want to be committed. A lot of people, like I said, like you said, Alvin, a lot of people want to be uncommitted. A lot of people want to say, I can do what I want. And I tell ladies, ladies, if you're listening, ladies, if you get married to a man, if you live with a man, you're saying that I submit to your authority. Because understand, men are a symbol of authority. What's up, James? God bless. Men are symbol of authority. We do that in law enforcement. We do that we have a symbol in presidency. We in authority in the home. We are a symbol of authority. And so when you come under your man, when you come with your man is he's to protect you. If someone stole your purse, you will want them to run after him. If someone smack you on the behind, you will want them to defend you. If someone talk to you rudely, you want the guy to step in between you and the other person. You want that. You cannot ask for a person to be responsible for you, but not have the authority over you. Let me say that again. Ladies, you cannot have a man to be responsible to provide, to protect, to wine and dine you, to do certain things, to defend you, to do certain things, but then he don't have the authority over you, or you want to dictate how he has authority over you. No, know what we call that? Slavery. Responsibility without authority is slavery. Let me say that again. Responsibility without authority is slavery. The reason why I tell guys this that date ladies or single mothers, baby mamas, if a guy is taking care of your kid that is not his, and he cannot rear the child, spank the child, tell the child to go to the room, or you ain't getting your toy, or you on timeout, or you can't watch TV, or you ground. If he cannot do that to your child, then he is a slave in a relationship, and he shouldn't even be in a relationship taking care of you. No man should be able to take care his kid, your kid, and not be able to have authority over your kid. That's a no-no at all. Same thing goes for the woman with the man. But when men have their kids, the women, if she want to come in and give motherly advice and do certain things like that, great. It's not that we're trying to take the place of the other parent that is not there, but at the same time, if the child is in our house under our roof, eating our food, things like that, then we have authority over that child. Same thing with a man in a relationship with you. If he have to protect, if he have to provide, yeah, you can have your own money, yeah, you have your own job. But here's the thing, and I told my wife this when we got married. I don't mind paying the bills, but you're not going to spend all your money that you make. That's not, I said, okay, but you was going to pay the bills anyway. What if I didn't work? You don't work. You just take care of the home. But you're not taking care of the home entirely because you have to go to a job, which you have a boss. That being said, cut what you make in half, put the rest away. I'm going to put the rest away because you not going to double dip. A man shouldn't pay the bills and then you spend all your money. That's double dipping, ladies. That's double dipping and saying, you're paying anyway, you my man, but I can do what I want with my money. No, sir. No, not in, especially not in this house. But at the same time, because if you were on your own, you would have to pay 100% of your bills. But if a man has the blessing of a job that can pay all the finance, and he's working hard and things like that, you don't get to splurge just because of that. That's one thing. I know I'm going in different avenues right now, but my mind is just doing things. And I want your guys' comment in the comment. I want to hear what you guys got to say. You're probably looking at me like this guy is crazy and things like that. Sometimes I probably am. My wife say that all the time. I just wish I got paid like I was crazy, but I'm not truly crazy in a sense. I'm here to spark a dialogue, a flame for you in a relationship, in your marriage. If you're single, if you're thinking about that, well, I don't want a man think like that. I don't want this and that. Ladies, if you get to dictate a lot of things in your relationship and you don't have to say nothing to your man, I'm going to say this for him. He's a beta man. He's what we call a simp, a sucker that idolize mediocre, you know what, a sucker that idolize mediocre, you know what. And so that being said, I tell guys to stand on their own 2 feet and rather speak their mind and lose you as his woman than stay dormant and not speak his mind to say what needs to happen in a relationship. Because men, we are the tone setter. But men, if you're not setting a good tone, that's a problem because they have something to come back on you on. If you're not picking up the weight, or you're not making you're not making sure the bills are paid and things like that, that's a problem. Now, ladies, we may not make a lot of money, $100,000 and things like that. We may work at Walmart. We may work at Costco. We may work at Amazon. We may do janitorial or security work. But at the same time, respect the man because he's working. A lot of men does not work. A lot of men lay up on women. A lot of men have that mama's boy mentality. Mama take care of the boy like baby boy, and he expect that from you because a lot of mothers don't raise their sons to become husbands. A lot of women raise their son as they baby to need them. And when they get in trouble, they call their mama and they got a woman right there. And we need to stop that, ladies. Stop raising these boys, especially if the father is not in the picture, to be your baby. raise him to be someone's husband. Because when you do that, you sabotage him and you hurt the next woman that is his woman too as well. A lot of women, I know women that has sons in their 30s and 40s and still take care of them like they are teenagers. We cannot do that because these guys are weak-minded men. These guys are weak men, and we don't need weak men because weak men make tough times. Strong men make easy times. And so we need to understand that. So we shouldn't have this independent spirit. We should have a spirit of codependent on one another. I need my woman as just as well as she need me. Now I may not need her in the way she needs me, or I can do a lot of things without her. She can do a lot of things without me, but certain things she really probably won't do without me. Especially, her car protection, somebody breaking the house, fix things and stuff like that. Yeah, you can call a handyman, but you still calling a man. So you need a man. We can, but we still need one another. Here's the thing. I said a lot of stuff. Society want us to separate, always want to argue, always want to prove our point, always want to, we don't need one another. We need one another. Know why? Especially if you have kids. Your kids is watching you argue. Your kids is watching you fighting. They can hear you fighting, and they grow up and they take that in relationships. They need to see that my mom loved my father. She could have did her thing or more than what she was doing. Some women in the 60s thought their mother was a slave to their father, the grandfather. That's why women in the 70s, late 60s, 70s, and 80s did say that I didn't need no man. Said, I'm not going to let a man rule over me. Took welfare instead of having a man in the house. And when they did that, they sacrificed their children seeing a strong man in the house. We need to understand that we need to see men in the house because men show a sign of authority, show sign of a protection, show sign of when a son get out of line, a father can check him. When a daughter going out with someone, the father can overlook that guy and say, hey, that guy need to come to the door instead of honking his horn to call you out to the car. This is one of the things that we need today that we don't have today. Okay. Another thing is we need women in the house because even statistically show that single fathers are better parents than single mothers. You can go look it up for yourself. U.S. Census Bureau, blackdemographics.com, family and social services. You can go look it up in their archives and statistics. I just gave you something too as well. Now, okay. Now, when a man, even though he can parent, he needs a woman in the household because he will become too masculine for his daughter. And his daughter need a feminine woman in the house to teach her lady things, ladylike, how to put on makeup, how to wear a dress, how to handle herself in that time of the month. These are the things that a mother, a lady would teach her daughter. Also, her son will see how a woman carry herself, how a woman would carry herself to see these women out here like, my mother didn't carry herself like that with my father. Why would I take this that you're giving me to as well? And a daughter will see her father says, my father treated my mother like this. I'm not taking no less than that. You need to come better than that too. So we need both parents in the household. You cannot be independent and then expect your children to be successful in life, not just in career and money, but in the vital things, social skills, conversation, how to answer questions, how to talk to the opposite sex, how to respect the opposite sex. These are the things that we need to be able to have a great and productive society. It's not up to the government. It's not up to your children's school. It's not up to daycare. It's not even up to your parents as grandparents to raise and your kids and to teach uh, them things. It's up to you. And it's up to you to be the man and woman you're called to be, to need one another and say, look, let's work together. We need one another. And let's make our family a good family. Because one thing you're going to do, you're going to break a lot of generation curses. A lot of people going through generation curses right now. Alcohol, drugs, addiction, pornography, abuse. A lot of people, we go through that in relationships all day, every day. But if you set ground rules and have conversations, you guys can do better. I learned that the best relationships have the most uncomfortable conversations. What do that mean? That means, hey, honey, if I die before you, I want you to cremate me. I don't want you to bury me. If I'm on life support, I want you to take me off. I don't want to be on life support like that. It's up to you, but this is what I want. Tell me what you want. 2, I did a post, controversial take early today. If you don't have life insurance and you have a family, children, or you're married, I believe you are selfish if you don't have life support. Now, some may say you can't afford it. I believe you can. Term life support, term insurance is easy. I don't know if my sister, shout out to Brooke, her and Kevin, they out in Texas. I know a couple of people, my friend Bishop Nolan, too. They do a lot with life insurance as well. I believe when you get married, you should already A, have life insurance, or B, right after you get married, you should get life insurance on one another. I believe that, like the Bible. And I believe because anything can happen, you can die, you can get killed, anything can happen, and you want to be able to take care of your husband or your wife. Mainly, husband need to have insurance on himself that he can leave to his wife, and especially if she have kids. I know a lot of husbands, unfortunately, that don't have life insurance, and I'm like, you're not covering your family, at least financial part. Who's going to bury you? The church is? Are we going to do chicken dinners and car washes? No. 2, do you own a house? Who's going to keep paying the mortgage? Is this going to be all on her? Car notes? Forget college fund. We need to understand we can't leave the person that we so love so much with a heavy burden when we're gone. A lot of us do that and don't even think about things like this. We need to have a living trust. Get a piece of paper, write it, your thing, sign it, notarize it. It becomes a living will. We need to do these things because we need one another. And we cannot say we're independent when we truly need one another, because when we do that, we're talking selfish. Now, I would say, and I'm going to throw myself under the bus, my wife probably watching, I do at times, I have done a lot of selfish stuff throughout my marriage. One of the things is I don't like sharing certain foods. Okay, I like my favorite food. I'm about to eat some Cinnabons later. But certain things I've done and I've said in a selfish manner. And some of the things that I have went back and corrected, some things I have to live with, and some things I have to answer to God about. Here's the thing. When we know better, we should do better. And when we learn that we made a mistake or we messed up, even if it's in the past, we need to go back, either fix it and make it right, and or at least apologize and let them know that I know back then I messed up and I'm trying to do better in that area, because we need one another. I cannot act like I'm alone. I had to get used to that when I had my kids. My wife says, we got kids. We can't just get up and go here and things like that, or do certain things. And I thought I could just go on my own. You can't do certain stuff because you have family. A guy told me this, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I don't like to do longer shows, but I thought I was gonna get some. I thought I was gonna get some. What's going on, Ralph? I thought I was gonna get some feedback from you guys in the comments. Let me cut this off right here in Couples of Christ. I don't know who's watching, but let me cut this off. I'm gonna cut this off. Couples of Christ, come to YouTube, Way of Life Christian Fellowship. Hold on. Hold on. Excuse me, I have to fix something right now. All right. So, a man told me this. He says, Maurice. He said a man that works for his first name. He said a man that works for his first name is selfish because it's only him. But a man that works for his last name is a man that looks out for other people besides himself. Why? Because the other people have his name, his wife, his kids, his grandkids. He look out for his legacy. And that's what I want ladies to understand. Ladies, the highest honor you can give a man, us as a man, is bear our children. Why? Because when we die, our children, our grandchildren will always be here carrying our name. Hopefully they carry it in a good way. Some carry it in a bad way. But our name will always be here. You would be known. That's Maurice's son. That's Maurice's daughter. I always talk about the guy, Stephen Darby. I look at his son. He's out in Texas, Stephen Darby Jr. And he looked just like his father. He's not a preacher like his father or nothing like that. He's into music. His father was musically inclined. And I look at some of his videos and stuff like that. I'm like, that's you, your daddy right there. And one of the things you give us is legacy. And one of the things we as men need to leave is an inheritance to our legacy. The Bible tells us that a man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And inheritance is not always monetary. It needs to be monetary addition to everything else, but it's not always monetary. We need to leave valuable lessons. We need to be leaving teachable moments. We need to not leave them in debt. We need to not leave them in trouble. We need to leave them further than where we go. If your kid don't get further than where you go, that's a problem. Where you stop is where you should catapult them further than where you are. I'm talking to the men right now. And if your kid is just working a job and they just work and die, some go to college or may trade, or you may just rent it and you grew up and raised them in a 2-bedroom house or whatever and got them out through school, that's great. But now they need to own a home. They need to do certain things. Live integrity. Have a family. Show them the basic things, because we overlook basic things. And I believe COVID brought us back to the basics. Be at home with one another, talk to one another, rely on one another, help one another, pray for and pray with one another. These are the things that we need to get back to basics doing. Families don't pray no more. Families don't eat at the dinner table no more. Family don't have family drives or conversations no more. Family need to do family things because we are family and we need to come together and we need each other. We can be individuals, but we shouldn't be independent of one another. My father used to tell me this. I'm at an hour and 22 minutes, and I'm gonna get off here at an hour and 30 minutes. So that's 7 minutes from now, because it's about to hit the 23 minute mark. My father used to tell me, Maurice, no one man is no island. You do a lot of things on your own, and that's okay to a certain extent. But you're gonna need some people. And you may not know when or how or where, but you're gonna need someone. And some people have pride that will kill them for asking help. We shouldn't have pride in relationships with one another. You should be able to ask your woman for help. Men, I learned that and I'm still learning that. And women, you definitely expect your man to help, but you need to tell him too, because we're not psychics and we don't read minds. I tell my wife, I'm not a psychic. I don't read your mind. You tell me what you want, or you're not going to get what you want. I shouldn't just anticipate it. You should share with me. I may pick up some things, but if I don't hinder me on that, because I didn't get the memo. And so this is how we have a dynamic in conversation. We need to have a good relationship with one another. And so we need one another. And I pray that you turn to your spouse or the person you with and say, I'm glad I'm with you. I need you. I want you to as well. And I can't do it without you. We are individuals. We can do independent things, but we're codependent on one another. Raising a family, building a household, saving up, going through tough times and struggles. The country's in tough times. The country's in debt. Most Americans are in debt. We're waiting for new leadership. A lot of things are going on right now. And one of the things that we don't need to do is say, I'm independent, or I don't need no man, or I can do things myself, because that shows you have a selfish spirit. It shows you me-minded. It shows that you are individual, that it shows that you are a person that thinks about you in a couple relationship. So again, kill the independent spirit and watch out who you go to for information. Um, watch out who you go for information, because people will sabotage your relationship just on seeing the happiness from your relationship. And so that is about it. I hope you guys, please hit the like, you guys, hit the like button, turn on your notifications on our YouTube page, like and subscribe to our YouTube page. For the ones on Instagram watching, please hit the subscribe button, go to YouTube, Way of Life Christian Fellowship, and hit the YouTube button. Also, hope that you support our ministry. If you can, join us tomorrow morning for our Saturday morning prayer too as well. We are praying people. Even though I speak, this is not a church moment. We have Saturday morning prayer, and I would like you guys to join us. You watch us, you watch me all the time. Come on here and things like that. If you can support, also hit support ministry, hit the cash app, $ Way of Life Church, $ Way WAY of Life Church. Support our ministry. Support what I'm doing here. Hit the like one. Go subscribe, most importantly, to our YouTube page. If you are already on our YouTube page or on Instagram or on Facebook, go subscribe to our YouTube page. To share it to your page or with someone, tag someone in. And most important, an overall icing on the cake, number 4, if you can hit the cash app or send a donation, we greatly appreciate it too as well. I try to keep this going. I think of a lot of topics, and if you guys have topics that you want me to talk about, I will too. One of the topics I wanted to talk about, that I told a person that I wanted to talk about is children need to stay out of parents' business, because you may say my daddy mistreated my mama, or that's why I don't want no man, or my mama beat my daddy down with words, that's why I don't want no woman. You shouldn't worry about what your mom and your daddy did, even though they shouldn't have showed you that, even if they were going through it. That's their business. Stay in a child's place, and you can be an adult I'm talking to right now. I tell parents, you shouldn't be showing your children that you're arguing, you're fussing, you're fighting, or if you're not together, show respect in the presence of your children, because they're going to pick that up and they're going to use that as an excuse why they're not in a relationship, why they're not married, why they don't have no kids. I had a woman tell me that she don't want no kids. She'd rather be lesbian. I said, the devil is a liar. Why? Why you want to be a lesbian? I said, the devil is a liar. I said, if it wasn't for a man or your daddy, you wouldn't be here. Why would you want to be a lesbian? God didn't meant for you to be a lesbian. That's a devilish move. I'm just a preacher in me. However, we need to understand that I need a woman because I love a lineage. I want companionship. I want somebody soft to talk to me. I want someone soft to caress me. And I have rough hands. I rub myself in dirt. I plumber hands. I don't want to rub myself my rough hands. I want someone to rub my back, or say, baby, touch my face like this. Or my wife. I like that. That tingles my skin. Okay. A woman love when a man's rough. She don't want no hands softer than hers either. She want a rough hand. Just the opposite sex. That's a beautiful thing. That's why I thank God for us as human beings. We need to thank God for that. We need one another, people. We need to understand that. And the devil try to sniff us out by having this same sex, homosexual, gay stuff, whatever you want to call it, things like that. No repopulation and things like that. I said today that men, do not donate your sperm. Do not donate. Don't go to the sperm bank. Don't sell your sperm. Use it for your wife, or don't use it at all. Don't do this. Don't give people. If people want kids, other couples, then do a surrogacy with a married heterosexual couple at all. I say that personally. But other than that, we need one another, and it's always good to have the opposite sex you can see and talk to. That's why I tell men and women something: you can't be friends really, because how can you put fire in your bosom and not get burned? How can two opposite sex people be around each other and not be attracted to each other and not something pop off? You're going to have to hold those urges. You want to feel them, but you can try to hold them back for so long. And so that's why we can be friendly. We shouldn't be friends hanging out. Something's going to bound to happen. And so I hope you guys like the show that I do. I'm a one-man army. I try to do best that I can. I'm gonna play some music right now, but I want you guys to say something in the comments. Please hit the like and share. And I don't own the rights to this music, but I'm going to play it anyway. And it is Can't Hold Back. I'm gonna play this, but hit the music. I want you guys to join us tomorrow for our Saturday morning prayer. Call in, please call the number. It's 667-770-1187. Access code 598-362. Let me say that again for Instagram. The number is 667-770-1187. Access code 598-362. And then also join us on Sunday, but join us on our live. Join us on our phone prayer. I want to pray for a lot of people going through lost jobs, lost loved ones, hardships, certain things. And so I hope you guys can join us. All right, let me pray this right quick.
Ever since we met last night, I've been trying to keep my distance. I just wanna play my cards right. It takes one false move and you'll be gone. But maybe it's alright. I can't tell if it's the right moment, but baby, anyhow, I can't hold it in anymore. 'Cause it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. I've been holding it in for too long. Yeah, it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. And I can't pretend anymore. Oh, I'm yours. Never thought I'd even try. After just one day, it's special, yeah. But there is something in your eyes. Ooh, one false move and you'll be gone. You maybe, it's alright. I can't tell if it's the right moment, but baby, anyhow, I can't hold it in anymore. No, 'cause it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. I've been holding it in for too long. Yeah, it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. And I can't pretend anymore. Ooh, I'm yours. Starting to come out. Starting to come out. Starting to come out. Ooh, I'm yours. Starting to come out. Starting to come out. Ooh, I'm yours.
And that was a song right there. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. That was his one of his theme songs that I wanted to play that one on this Friday night. And I hope that you guys enjoyed uh, the things I'm trying to give out. I thank God for putting it in me to be able to talk about relationships and family. I love talking about relationships and family because we need one another. I grew up with both of my parents. They did the best they could. I believe they could have did better if they applied themselves better. And I believe we need to apply ourselves better than what we're doing. What we're doing may be sufficient for the moment, but I think we can dig deeper and do greater than what we're doing if we just try a little bit harder. And when we try to be a little bit harder, the Lord will see and be able to help us. He sends us a comforter to help us throughout our life in the Holy Spirit, if you believe that or not. However, we need to understand that we need to, we need to be able to muster up some strength when we have the desire to go buy video games, tickets, sports, job, making money, vacation. We need to have that same energy, tenacity, and starting in ourselves to be a better man and woman, to be a better husband and wife, to be a better parent, to have a better family, and to be able to please God by living the life He called us to live as true believers and not counterfeit Christians. And most importantly, to be able to know that we need one another. He made us that we need one another. We don't have everything uh, complete until we come together. And that's what makes us complete. by having one another and God center of our life. So I pray again that you guys got something. I pray that you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and I pray that you guys come back and join us again. I pray that you have a great evening. God bless you. Take care. Peace.